until 1970. And currently, we have 27% of Black women being the head of their households versus other races. So let's start about marriage. Marriage in the Black community. Based on your experience, based on the interviews that you've done, what are you finding is the hang up about marriage these days? I'll start with you, Ty.
Oh, man. It seems like as a culture, just in general, we are very fearful when it comes to marriage. Mm-hmm. We're not as open to marriage as we were a few generations back. It's a lot of hesitation around that, and for a lot of reasons. You know, the fellas are feeling like, you're looking at divorce statistics, they're like, these women are running away from the marriage. Mm-hmm. Women are filing for divorce at an extremely high rate. Mm-hmm. And the women are like, that's because we ain't got to put up with your shit no more, mm-hmm. right? So it's this very combative nature that we have really as a culture and as a relationship, and that's just anti-team. That's mm-hmm. anti-be together for the next 50 years. Mm-hmm. And that's even why me at 30 years old is not married. Mm-hmm. Just personally, because even my whole mindset towards marriage, thankfully, with the people we've been bringing on, have been given a different perspective. But even my mindset was, whoa. I got to be extra careful mm-hmm. because I don't want to get got. I don't want to lose in this bad deal, this arrangement, mm-hmm. which is how marriage is presented mm-hmm. in today's culture. Mm-hmm. So I truly do believe, thankfully now, because of, again, the guests we've been bringing on, because me studying the game and studying successful marriages, I think now I have a better idea of what the purpose of marriage is. Mm-hmm. And I think we get into marriage for love. You know, we get into marriage because we've always had this goal and this feeling that we have, instead of having a real plan, mission, and purpose behind what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And until we really get a better understanding of those things, we're gonna stay in this place.
Right, understood. I'm going to push back on something that you said, because it bothers me to my core. I've heard all of these statistics around 70% of women are the ones who file for divorce, 80, 85. I hear numbers, people just pulling numbers out their asses. Yeah. And so I want to give you a scenario. You and I have a business together. Airbnbs. You find them, you fix them up. I decorate them, I get them booked, I keep them clean, right? Let's say you go ahead and you find the Airbnbs, you fix them up. You turn them over to me. Now it's my responsibility to do the decoration, to do the bookings, to do the cleanings. And I don't do that. Over and over and over again, you're getting them fixed and I'm not doing my part. You go to a lawyer, you say, you know what? The business with Allison isn't working. I want to dissolve our LLC. The Ty and Allison LLC, I want to dissolve it. Because you're the one who dissolved it, because you're the one who did the paperwork, you're the one who caused the separation? Or isn't it the person who didn't fulfill their side of the bargain? So that statistical conversation always bothers me, because that's not logical. Just because the person who does the paperwork doesn't mean that's the person who caused the rift that caused that breakup.
No, that's accurate. Do you think that every single time that person files, that it should have been filed and it could not have been worked through?
Oh, no, I'm sure that most marriages can be saved. I am confident that most marriages, unless we're talking about something that's on a level of abuse, it can be saved. But just that statistic is always thrown out as, well, women are the problem because we're the ones who file. It's a document. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but with my experience with men, they usually don't do paperwork. Right? Wives, moms are the ones who enroll kids in school. They're the ones who make sure that their documentation is filled out for doctors. And that's what I'm talking about, healthy, fulfilling relationships. Women usually do the paperwork. You leave a man to file for divorce, he's going to be married for the rest of his life, but he'll have other women. And I'm not even talking about cheating. I'm talking about two couples who are legitimately separated. He'll have a new semi-wife. He'll have children. He'll buy a house. It won't be until the new woman demands that he actually files the paperwork. So just the filing of the paperwork thing is my thing. I don't want to go on and on. Yeah. But just the filing of that paperwork argument always bothers me.
No, that's fair. Mm-hmm. And, going back to the original point of some of the rhetoric put out that has us in our culture in this place, I agree that every woman that files does not have a damn good reason to file. And should she probably be filing? I think it's a lot of people that actually should be getting the hell up out of some of these marriages. Mm-hmm.
Or should have never been married in the first place.
Or should have never been married in the first place. Yep. But again, we just had I don't want to take it in a different place, but we just had an interview where we had somebody admitting that they regretted filing.
Yes, lots
because
of
they
women
should not have done that.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
And that's because initiation, like typically the initiation, the point is when the attorney gets involved. So it's when you file divorce. So of course it could have been initiated with maybe somebody did something they want to, that's unforgivable, or maybe there were some kind of differences that couldn't be resolved. But the thing is, when a woman or just a person goes to now bring an attorney, a third party into the situation, the relationship is just, at that point the whole thing is over. Right. So I think I guess the rhetoric is around like a level of impulsiveness or emotional actions that's being taken rather than going to a therapist or going to Mondoux who can help.